One man is dead after an officer-involved shooting in Menominee last night. As the Wisconsin Supreme Court prepares to hear a lawsuit regarding the drug ivermectin, one medical group is weighing in. Recapping our top story, 2 police officers were killed in the line of duty today in Barron County. The La Crosse County Sheriff's Office is investigating what it's calling a suspicious death of a child. 1 week ago today, fighter jets took off from Madison on a very high-profile mission. Brigadier General David May of the Wisconsin Air National Guard sat down with Tim Elliott to talk about what happened that day. Heart disease is responsible for 1 in 5 deaths in the U.S. every year. That's according to the CDC. I was just getting in the mood for spring, and then Mother Nature is like, winter is not done yet.
Well, we only had a trace of snow so far in February, so we're going to be adding a lot to that.
All this week, we are looking back at some of the stories we brought you in 2022. Tonight, we're kicking it off with a look at a memorial put up in the village of Lake Hallie. President Joe Biden and Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy are expected to meet Wednesday to discuss the debt ceiling. A new session of Congress begins tomorrow. As Republicans take a slim majority in the House, we might see something that hasn't happened in a century. One man from Maine can say he's seen every Super Bowl game in person since it began decades ago. Chris Daniels shares why over the years it's become about more than football.
Still looks above average.
Which I'm very excited for. Like, even today felt better than it has been. So yeah. I cannot wait for these 30s. And
yeah, it's amazing how just little baby steps even make it feel better. And what is it going to feel like when it's 39? It's going to be amazing. I
jokingly have said I might need to pull out the shorts, but that's maybe a little dramatic.
Oh, there will be people that do, trust me. Do all vegetables have a special day? Is there like a broccoli day and a
I feel like they all should. If they don't, they all should. And, you know, we're getting close to like starting to plant vegetables into our gardens, and hopefully the weather will feel like that this week.
Yeah, it couldn't come soon enough.
We're going to hope that's rain and not snow.
Right.
Thanks, Darren, and thank you for joining us. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us. 2 police officers were shot and killed in the line of duty yesterday in Barron County. According to the Wisconsin Department of Justice, an officer with the Chetek Police Department stopped a vehicle in the village of Cameron around 3:30 p.m. After an exchange of gunfire, the DOJ says that officer and a Cameron police officer were killed. They died at the scene. The other involved individual was taken to a hospital where they later died. The Division of Criminal Investigation is leading the investigation. And the community is working to process yesterday's tragedy. WEAU's Daniel Gomez spent time in Barron County and has reaction from the community and those who took the trip to the city of Chetek to pay their respects. Around the state, first responders are also sending their support to the Cameron and Chetek communities. In a post to its Facebook page, the Cadott Police Department writes in part, "There are no words that can help make sense of this loss. Finding the words to write this is difficult." The Wisconsin State Patrol posting to its social media saying, "With heavy hearts, our deepest condolences to the Chetek Police Department, Village of Cameron Police Department, and the communities they serve." Governor Evers also tweeting today in part, "Kathy and I are praying for the officers' families, colleagues, and the Barron County community mourning this tragic loss." And we'll continue to cover this story as we learn more. Tune in to Hello Wisconsin tomorrow morning for the latest. Thanks, Derek. A Black River Falls man is arrested for suspicion of driving under the influence, 5th offense. According to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, around 9 yesterday morning, 56-year-old Tony Schaller was pulled over for speeding and erratic driving. While stopped, a deputy asked Schaller to do a sobriety test, and he was unable to do so. A sergeant with the Sheriff's Department says Schaller was out on bond for 2 other OWIs from last year. In addition to charges related to the suspected OWI, the Jackson County Sheriff's Department is also recommending Schaller face a bail jumping charge. Today, tens of thousands of worshipers took part in Easter Mass in St. Peter's Square. A federal judge in Texas issued a ruling Friday that would halt the use of a commonly used abortion pill. In response, some communities across the country held protests. 2 Democratic representatives expelled from the Tennessee State House this week are speaking out. The Republican-controlled House voted to oust the two men after they joined a fellow Democrat in protest following a deadly mass shooting in Nashville. Isabel Rosales has the latest. Still ahead, the Brewers look to turn things around after yesterday's loss against the Cardinals. Philip has game highlights in Sports Scene 13. But first, in a search for her missing ring, one woman not only recovered the piece of jewelry, but also found community.